A very good morning to one and all gathered here. If you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. I hope all are safe and secure. A warm welcome to Dr. M. Murali Krishna, sir, Dean of Engineering and Technology, who is a pillar of our institution, the highly qualified and expected and experienced academician, Dr. K. Raja, sir, Head of the Computer Science Department. I welcome our resource person, UMANG SONI, sir, event coordinators, and all the faculties and the students. Don't be pushed along by your fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. On behalf of our institution, it's my privilege to welcome you all to our today's online session titled The Dreamers and the Doers, organized by the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram, Chennai. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you for all the participants for finding time and visiting our today's webinar. I'm profusely overjoyed to take this opportunity to introduce the resource person of the day, UMANG SONI sir, alumni of SRMIST Ramapuram, associate software developer, Goldman Sachs International, Bank in Stockholm, Sweden. He has the project experience of building out analytics platform for the team using Jupyter Hub and NB Convert to enable the data science on mission and toil metrics. Discover and estimate indicators, objectives for defining platform performance and reliability. He has worked in the project data lake solutions for various business units warehousing requirements Hadoop. This is to centrally manage data so that anyone in the firm can rapidly query, analyze, or refine data in streamlined way. Then enterprise solution for text or voice-based external communications using Twilio Cloud Provider. He has done project on approaches to traveling salesman program using genetic algorithm. He has received university rank and performance scholarship during undergraduate. I hope this session will be very useful, one to boost up our morale and achieving our dreams to come true. If this was live, I would have said a round of applause for this great man. But I do say a round of appreciation from myself and entire team of SRM and students in welcoming you to this forum and deliver the speech, sir. With no more further delay, I welcome our speaker, Mr. UMANG SONI. Thank you, sir, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, fam. Thank you, faculty. Thank you very much, SRM team. And thank you, students, for having me here. You can hear me and see my video, right? Is there any
Yes,
problem
sir.
with that?
No, sir.
Thank you very much. So I'll start sharing my slide if you can stop it.
Yeah, yes, sir, I did, sir. You can share it, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm trying to share my presentation. It looks like PPT is not supported on Zoom. Can you guys give me 2 minutes? I'll join back from my laptop
Sure,
and see if I can share my PPT from there.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Thank you very much. Sorry for the interruption.
Not an issue, sir.
Hello, you can hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Thank you very much. Let me try sharing my. I'll share my screen only.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
So let me know when you can see it. So I'll start it. Hi everyone. I'm Umang, and I joined SRM in 2012, and I pursued my CSE Computer Science Engineering in SRM and passed out in 2016. So I'm a passed out batch of 2016, you can say. So what I'm gonna share is like the dreamers and the doers. This is my topic, and I would want to share some of my experiences, some of my thoughts, and some of my you can say perspectives of how you can actually move ahead and go ahead in your career, in your professional skills if you want, or maybe doing higher educations, or as well as if you want to start up your own firm or company, be an entrepreneur. So first of all, what does this quote mean? Just So this is, you can say, a quote is there by Edmund Lee, and he has written this in his book. That's where we got this: the doers and the believers. Just always surround yourself with the dreamers, the doers, and the believers and thinkers. But most of all, surround yourself with those who can see the greatness within you when you don't see it yourself. What it means is like you actually find your own community, you find your own people who actually share your ideas, share your beliefs, and you can all work together and find better approaches, better things, better ways to do things, and contribute back to society. And by this, you'll gain some perspective actually to do things better. Uh, SRM as a college or any other college just provides you with that. It provides you with same peers who actually wants to study computer science, work together, build softwares, build hardwares, build platforms, and work in the industries to actually contribute to society. So you actually become part of that and surround yourself with those people. This seems like a one-way relationship, to be honest, a one-way approach. Like it says like uh, you have the power to get other people's also, but to do that, you also have to be good. Uh, it's always said that great minds attracts other great minds. So if you're good at something, you'll attract other people who are also good at something. So this is how you can actually build perspective. I'll share some of things about my experience. I pursued computer science engineering and SRM in 2012. Same Ramapuram campus, which you all are part of. Uh, got really lucky and got selected to Goldman Sachs internship in 2015. Uh, Passed out in 2016 and joined Goldman as a full-time employee, software developer, to be honest. In 2018, I switched some of my roles and responsibilities, moved from just software developer to a different role, site reliability engineering or in data architecture team, who usually works with big data technologies. They have a lot of data and they process it, and I have to make sure I can build platforms on top of it for our users, who some of them are machine learning experts, some of them are just data engineers, and some of them are business units. So build platform for them, help them to actually get their data on board and to share. And 2021, I mean, this year, I actually moved to Stockholm office to lead a team here, our local team here. We are building a new office here. I mean, it has already been there, but because of the COVID, we were not able to hire a lot of people here. So I am pulled here to actually get those 4 or 5 years of experience that I've spent in Goldman to actually contribute here. So this is my experience in a nutshell. Uh, Feel free to ask any questions, or if you want, we can take 5 minutes after each slide if you have any questions about my experience. This internship year, I got really lucky. To be honest, like in third year, uh, most of the recruiters does not have a lot of expectations from most people. I mean, most students. And I was actually preparing. I was doing a lot of questions, problem-solving statements, and all those things. Uh, Doing cooperative coding also. So in my third year, when the internship actually took place, I was able to answer those questions, which recruiter asked. So they offered me an internship. Just a slight edge above other my peers. I was a little early. Everyone else was prepared during our final year, and every one of us was learning computer science. But due to some of the extra things which I was doing, I got selected in internship, and by far this is the easiest way to actually get into any of the firm. You have some time to actually build some trust with them, and they also do not have a lot of experience. Sorry, they also do not have a lot of expectations from you. They actually want to train you uh, for 2 months or 3 months to actually see your potential, how you would be joining as a full-time employee. So win-win situation for both of us. And so I joined Goldman Sachs. Um, Anyone has any questions? Want to ask, like, what I did? Let me look at chat.
So could you please see the chat box? Is it possible for you, sir? Because the
One
questions have been
second.
arising in the chat box.
Yeah.
Or else, if you want, I'll just read it out for you, sir.
Yeah, that would be great. It's just
Yeah,
like
okay.
I'm
So,
screen sharing. I'm not
yeah, that
seeing
I
the chat area.
agree. That's sure, sir. They are asking, what does mean by GS?
Yeah, sorry. I think I spoke, but GS is Goldman Sachs. That's the firm which I'm working with and being recruited by it.
So what
And for
type of
myself.
company is it, sir?
So it's an investment bank. If you read about, like, Google it, it's going to be much easier. But what it does, it provides financial services to high net worths, to governments, to banks, other banks, and industries. So there are three to four bigger roles of any investment banking sector. Uh, you as a business owner actually wants to do business in this country or in your home country only, but you need to raise capital for it. You can either directly go to any angel investor and ask them to get some funds. You can list yourself as public and ask people to buy your stocks directly. So that's how you can actually gain some capital to actually do business. So as Goldman provides you that platform to business owners to actually raise capitals.
That's
Some of the
great, sir.
government also wants to do the same things. The government
Okay.
wants to raise capital, so they'll sell their bonds. So Goldman actually works as a platform, a broker kind of thing.
Okay. So they have a question like it's on campus or off campus, sir?
This was on campus. This actually came to SRM college and
Okay.
was selecting folks. This was on campus.
So they have given asking you a question of what is the difference between working in fintech firm or a product-based company?
Hmm. The work style is mostly same, but the objective is slightly different. In a product-based company, which actually sells the product, like, we are also called as a product-based companies because we also sell products, but they are just not technology products directly. We sell products which is backed by technology. You can imagine a credit card also. We are selling Apple credit card. We actually launched, I think, 2 years back, uh, collaborating with Apple. So these are all the products, financial products, but are sold backed by technologies. A normal product-based companies, for example, Microsoft, Google, or any other similar company, sells their products directly. They build their Microsoft Office, improvement on top of it, and sells that directly. Otherwise, working is mostly same, but when you actually reach higher positions, for example, if you stay in the company for 10 years, 15 years, you'll see in your responsibilities, your aims are different, so your focus will also be different.
Yeah. Okay. So they're asking how do you plan and execute your projects, sir?
Like any other company, it's normal works with normal SDLC cycle. So I'm not sure if you've studied, you would have a course in college where you'll study all the life cycles of projects. There are waterfall models, there are agile models. So these are methodologies. We actually build softwares or build work on projects. You gather all your requirements, you do analysis on what can be done, what cannot be done, prioritize them, and create Jira tickets. And each person in your team actually takes each tickets and works on their part. For example, if you want to build a chat application similar to Zoom or any other applications which actually does video conferencing or something like that, you actually divide this into multiple modules. There's a video part, there is an audio part, there's a platform part, and there's a chat part, small modules, and work independently on all of them. And at the end, build uh, a jar, you can say, or any artifact and deploy it in your server. Was this you mean to say, or you mean to say completely different projects? What I was talking about was your technology products.
Yes, sir. So they're asking for what are the procedures of the internships? So how have you got and what are the trainings were provided for you, sir, during the internship in Goldman Sachs?
Sure. So how I got it was campus recruitment. I have been asked, like I got DMs also, like, can I do internship in Goldman? And I checked with my internal recruiters also, like, can I actually refer someone for internships also? But what they said was, for internship, they directly go to college and they don't take referrals for interns. They actually want to directly go to college. They work together with college and have a lot of number of seats which are available. And that's the only way I could find where folks can do internship there in Goldman Sachs. Uh, but there are other ways also. For example, there are recruitment drives which are running, especially I mean from last year onwards because of the COVID situations. Going to college was getting more difficult, so there are recruitment drives. You may be able to, if you follow Goldman Sachs on LinkedIn, you will be able to get see the post and other things, and you can follow websites also. What there is, you have a exam, you can say hacker rank portal, where we actually post questions. Whoever solves those questions in good time, we shortlist them and ask for internships and full-time employees also. So that has been going on since last 2 years. Even I'm not aware when it comes and when it goes. Uh, because of the COVID situations, things are not going accordingly very standardized in a very standardized manner. But we do recruit for interns also outside of the general campus recruitments. Off campus getting internships is very difficult uh, unless you have unless there is already a demand for interns and there are some seats available. Then actually I can work with recruiters and get you. Uh, once you get an internship, or suppose you enter Goldman Sachs as an intern, then you actually join one of the teams in technology. We call it now engineering, and which will have a small projects already ready for you. Kind of ready as in they'll have a base projects available, the base project built, and they'll have some task on top of it, and then you can work directly on it. And most of the projects, how we construct is like we want something to be deployed in production. We want to actually use it, not just build a project just for your learning experience and seeing your skills, whether you have those skills to build it or not. But we actually do want to use it in production as in Goldman Sachs. So we try to create task 1 year earlier also, like what all can be done for interns, what all interns can work on. Okay, this looks like a machine learning algorithms. Maybe the intern can work on it. We'll keep it for them. So that's how we build projects for interns. And when they join, we actually assign 2 people with them who can very well execute the projects, but they don't do it. They're just for helping interns. And this is how you learn on the spot and start working with people, ask around questions like how do I do that? How do I do that? How can I do this? Those kind of questions. And there are people around you to help you. Once you have done your internships, It could be 2 months, it could be 6 months. If it's 6 months, you might be working on 2 or 3 projects, um, in a period of 2 or 3 months. And if you're good with the internship, then if you're selected, you come as a full-time employee in Goldman at the end of the next year. So if you're doing an internship in 2015, you'll join as a full-time employee in 2016, where you'll be given some training of all the basic products of Goldman. You'll be given financial training of what Goldman does, how it can help, how your technology actually comes into the paint, to the financial products of the Goldman. And you'll be given a basic general training of all the softwares which are already existing in Goldman. For example, we have proprietary language also, slang, which we call, and that is also object oriented, but it's very archaic, to be honest. When even Java was not there, we wanted some object oriented programming. I mean, we as in Goldman, I was not even there, neither I have any contribution to that. But some of the early founders of the slang language wanted some OOPS concept, like object-oriented way of doing programming and structuring. So that's why they actually built a language on top of C++, and that's a proprietary language. And all our financial trades and all those things run on that, and a separate DB on top of it.
Okay,
Sorry.
so we have got some more questions like what were the projects you have done during your colleges and did you get PPO?
Pre-placement offer, you mean? Yes, I did get a PPO, and after my internships, and I joined Goldman in 2016. The projects which I'm working on may not be very specific or targeting to a company. These were general projects. One of the projects which I worked was traveling salesman problem and using genetic algorithm. So I'm not sure if you know about genetic algorithm, but it is a heuristic solution. It follows the principles of normal biology, where um, you have chromosomes, they combine together to form new chromosomes, and you attach a fitness function on top of it, and you keep on repeating this task until you get better chromosomes. So that's where a traveling salesman problem was a problem in which a person has to visit all the cities, and he wants to spend minimum time to actually visit the cities, or minimum distance, whatever the cost function is. And you have form a cycle, a Hamiltonian cycle that is called, I think, um, which reduces that cost functions.
That's
So
great, sir.
yeah, thank you.
So we have like, what was your role at GS as an intern and what did you do for the internship period, sir? So what was the internship period actually?
Sure. My internship was 2 months, and I was hired as a software developer. What I did was built Java APIs, to be honest, REST APIs, um, in JSON, which takes in returns JSON output. After that, there was some smaller tasks also, like I had to build a web page for the same UI. So you can say I was a full stack developer. And these were not very big websites, just few web pages. And a lot of my time actually went in understanding the project itself. Like there were a lot of products and a lot of softwares already built in Goldman, and we have to build on top of it. You will find very less opportunities when you'll start something from scratch. You'll have you Most of the time you'll always find opportunities or your projects which are already built or already in use, and you have to build more features or change some things from the top of it.
So like we have to
So
add some more ideas into the existing
yes,
one, right, sir?
from the
Okay.
existing ones. That's how we actually start from a very small project and go to some big softwares like Facebook and Google and all those websites. We start slowly, keep on
Wow,
building on top of
superb,
it.
sir. So they have asked questions like, is it okay just to have a knowledge about the particular area we want to work in, or else do we need a core certificate to prove it?
If you have a degree, you do not need any additional certificate, to be honest. You just need knowledge. And
But in
now,
some companies, they will ask for the proof, no, sir, actually, because they will never know that we are strong in one particular area and all?
They'll ask you questions.
Okay,
If
so
you if you're doing an interview, they'll ask you questions.
all right, sir.
And be very careful about resume. If you're writing, I know something in your resume, they'll definitely get someone actually an expert on the same topic to ask you questions.
Okay, that's correct, sir. Okay. So
Yeah.
why do you choose GS instead of other companies, sir?
Mm,
Is there any
First of all,
particular?
fintech. Not a particular, not a very particular thing. It's a fintech company and it's very reputable. That's one point. They have an incredible training program and recruitment program. Now I'm seeing other companies also follow the same thing, like Microsoft and Adobe also has a very good training programs. Second thing, and third was internship. I already had a 2 months. I have already spent 2 months of my time during internships, and I know when I joined in 2016 what I'm gonna be working on it, or what kind of people I'm gonna be working with. So that gave me a lot of confidence and security with respect to what my work is going to be, and I can prepare better for that. So that was one reason. My internship, I'll say, was a primary reason. If I would have done internship in some other company and I would have liked that, I might have joined that company also. So it was not very specific or very targeted for me, like I have to join Amazon only or Google only, these kind of companies. I was like, I'm good with any technology firm who is going to be building softwares in the back.
So did you attend any other companies, sir, for your internships and all? Or only this?
No, internship only one. I don't think
Okay.
college gives you that much time to actually do internships. Like
All right, sir.
you
So
can take
there
one month
was,
more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, sir. So how did you prepare for your aptitude round, sir? Was that much tough or how it was been?
To be honest, third year, like in third year they came for internship, and that's what I'm saying. Like I was lucky. They had lower expectations from me, and I was doing some side projects, so that gave me an edge over other students. Just an edge. I have my friends who are much better in coding. They can code like if I take half an hour to code some website or something, they can do it from 15 minutes, 10 minutes also. So it's not exactly one-to-one things. They whenever you all gonna be sitting in an interview, there are some things which are under your control and some things which aren't under your control, and you'll not be able to directly map each and everything. Okay, I have done this, that's why I got selected. You never know. So since I was doing some side projects, I could show to them, okay, these are my projects, and they did ask me questions on top of it to actually understand what I'm doing and what I did. They asked me some algorithm questions also, and I was interested in algorithms, so I actually prepared for that. So that was a very good round, to be honest.
That's really great, sir. So tips
Mhm.
to get a good package and what are the good technologies to learn currently to get good placements, sir?
To be honest, all the fundamentals of computers, like people often say, like technology is changing every 2 years, 3 years, and whatever you're learning right now is gonna get outdated till the time when you're gonna implement them. So, but I have a different perspective. I feel like the fundamentals as well as the algorithm data structures and all the major backbones are still the same. It's like any other science. The algorithms and data structures that you're studying right now have been researched and built in 50 years or 70 years from now, 1970, 1940s. Those were the starting of computer science era, or computation era, and where we were there were a lot of papers that you're going to come across which are written on those times. So your fundamentals will stay the same. Technologies or any language, I'll say, these are just tools to actually use those fundamentals and implement them. Object-oriented programming has been, I think, for at least 40 years in the industry. And the financial institution and all those things, they actually started 20 years back to use it. Java was one example. So these languages are just tools to actually implement the same concepts. If you want what is currently being worked on, I think Python, Java, these are primary languages for software developers. If you're looking for very low-level programming, you can go for C++, but I would still advise to go for generalized things than to do a specialization very early. You never know what is a specialization you're interested in and what you would be willing to work.
Okay, so what are the important soft skills you can provide us, sir?
Um, I think few of the soft skills. First of all, public speaking. That will always give you a passive boost to your profile throughout your career. Like anywhere you go, any place you go, public skill is one of them. If you're able to communicate properly, your ideas, and communicate as in you don't have to make things complex or talk about a lot of big words and all those things. Just have to convey what you're thinking to the person who's listening, and you'll come across these things like cut short these 5 slides into single one. Like how do you cut your information into single line or single page or single something? Uh, you have to give a report to business users. How do you cut short and give a summary? So those kind of skills will come into the picture. Second is writing skills. Whatever you have in your mind, you have to write them out in the paper. In emails, right now it's documents now. So you have to write a lot of documentations around it. You have to write a lot of proposals when you're going to build a software. So writing skills also come into the picture and saves you a lot of time if you're able to convey the same message to folks or the seniors. And third is networking. I think this is gonna be like your network will anyway help you even in your career, outside your career, also your friends, your peers, your college mates. Um, I think the friends that you make in your college who stays for 4 years will stay lifeline for you. I still have friends which I constantly talk every week, to be honest, to just discuss about what is going on in their life, personal life and professional life and all those things. They'll always help you. So third would be networking. And people often confuse that networking just means you have to know other people's. That is not exactly as I've said. Uh, if you want good people around you, you have to be also good or contribute in some other way.
That's really great, sir. So could you give some advices for us for sitting for the placements?
For the placements,
Yes, while we're sitting for placements, could you please give some advices what we have to be prepared for?
mm-hmm. Sure. What year is it, to be honest? Like, is it third year or is it second year? What year of
So
students are
probably
you?
we are comprised of all years here. So mostly of
Okay.
third year and fourth year have been here, I guess, sir.
Okay. Okay. Um, there's a good problem about uh, optimizing, like optimization stopping problem. I'll say, like how much do you want to explore, and then you want to exploit whatever you have explored. Like you start gaining a lot of knowledge, and when it comes times to actually write papers on all those things, you actually use all your knowledge and prepare yourself. Just do the preparations. So I'd advise in that way only. First, second years, just try to explore. It's a very big science, to be honest. And there are so much resources that you'll never be able to learn or get even a brief about those in your college years. Like 4 years is much less than you have to learn throughout your life. So first 2 years, just keep on exploring. Um, whatever tools, technologies are there, whatever the new concepts, database, operating systems, softwares, algorithms, data structures, networking, um, even soft skills also. Keep on exploring. If you want to go into fintech company and you're more interested in financial products, you can start learning your capital markets and all those things also. If you are into services-based companies, you can start learning how to actually communicate properly on over calls, uh, how to give those 2 minutes pitches, I'll say, how to gather requirements, business analysts, those kind of roles. So just keep on exploring what are the new things. In third year, you start preparing. The first is you have to be good at aptitude. So that actually takes practice, but you should be able to qualify it. it always comes to relative performance also. Like if you are very good, but someone is even better than that, and a company is coming for the recruitment and they just have one person to hire, then tough luck. But you tried your best. Whatever in your control, you were able to successfully do that. But some things are out of your control. You can't help. So aptitude preparation, we have to do very well. Have some side projects working. Um, Choose pick up anything which you have explored in your first 2 years, and in third year you start working on them. uh, Talk with your professors. Even if your professors are not directly able to help you, they'll be able to provide you platform and resources. So get help. Ask for your seniors also. Like your seniors have already gone through the years that you are going through right now. So keep a check with your seniors also, uh, and they'll be able to provide you direct then and there on the spot things that you require, how to prepare for placements and all those things. Which companies are coming based on your companies, you might have to prepare also. If you're targeting companies, that is really difficult, and I would say very good, but don't get disheartened if you do not meet a certain requirements or you're not able to get selected. There are a lot of factors which can come into the play uh, during the recruitment. The company demands, the company's requirement process, how many people they want to hire, which college they want to hire. um, Maybe they want some website developer. So even if you're really good at algorithms or data structures, maybe they won't pick you and pick someone else uh, who is great at building web frameworks and all those things. So these are the things which are out of your control, and you have you may not be able to work a lot on it, but you can work on other things which are in your control. Does that answer your question? I think so.
Yes, sir. So these are really, thank you so much for these things.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Sure.
is it possible to do internships during the fourth year, or will be that to be so late?
So internship does play into the part of your career, but don't worry about it. Like if you haven't done internship, then you have a disadvantage. There are a lot of ways where you can actually work around those. Like you can get a lot of things. You can have a lot of personal projects. You can spend a lot of time in your lab working on them.
Okay.
And so it's not the final thing, but both your internships, like you would be spending a lot of time in preparation. Like you have already gained a lot of knowledge and you would want to prepare, use that knowledge best as possible. So I would say fourth year would be projects and preparation. But if you do find an internship, do it.
That's great, sir. Thanks for this. And what are the tech stacks does Golden Sachs works with right now, sir?
Um, so Goldman does not work with any tech stacks. Whatever tech stacks you can use, you go ahead with it. There are just some general reasonable things like um, Python is easier for people to understand. So we often use Python. If you want to prepare a complete good structure of project with very proper standards, we often use Java. Uh, when we have to work with big data technologies or a lot of data, we often use Spark frameworks and Flink, Apache Flink. There are a lot of other big data tools also. When you have to build databases, we often go with Sybase IQ or HBase, Cassandra, these kind of big databases also there, and relational databases, IQ. Um, Oracle DB also is at some places, MongoDB for NoSQL. So it depends on the requirements and based on which team you're part of. Some teams are already working on this. If I already have built my project in Java and you come and say, okay, I don't want to work on Java, I want to work on Python. So you're going to be scrapping all the things. So that may not be reasonable. And you might have to work on Java to improve it. Any new thing, any completely new pipeline, if you have to build, you can work on Python. Like you can propose and work with your managers, your boss, or your peers. So there's no hard requirements as what Goldman tech stack is, but it depends on what project and what team you're part of.
Yeah. Okay. So they're asking for how's the opening for freshers for machine learning engineer and product based company?
like across the industry, right?
So actually, they're asking for machine learning engineer mainly, and
Mhm.
some product-based companies for mostly for the freshers. They'll be having zero
Okay.
experience, right, sir?
Okay. Um, it's good, but the problem with specialization it is uh, when you actually come into the industry, it's not always like you'll be given one machine learning project and you have to work on that machine learning project only. Often you're going to be hired as an engineer and you might have to work on a lot of other things also. So even if you have been given machine learning profile, you would be working on software development also, some machine learning and some scraping and all these things also. There are a lot of opportunities for data science engineers, to be honest, for data scientists, for machine learning experts, for data engineers, and software developers. People often rank them in a different order, but I keep them on the same, and my firm also keeps them same with respect to pay scale also. All of them usually come into the same pay scale. So you can pick up any one of them, whatever you're interested. And you can actually move around also, like after 2 years, you have tried machine learning. Now you want to actually go into the core software development, go for it. After 2 years, you have done software engineering, you want to actually work on uh, web frameworks and other things, you can actually choose. So it's much more flexible with respect to with respect to technologies and your roles also.
Okay. So they have asked you, sir, when did you really started data structures and algorithms preparation and got into computer programming, and any tips regarding this for us, sir?
College curriculum. You're gonna be having big algorithms books that often people ignore and keep on the
That's
side.
true, sir. We have
So
big
just
books.
just read them. They're very good, and the curriculum is very exhaustive. To be honest, like any engineering college curriculum is exhaustive. You won't have time. Like if I've given you like okay, there are 6 more months to actually prepare, you're gonna occupy all the 6 more months to actually prepare. Any amount of time given is gonna be consumed. So for all the folks, like make the best of your use of your time, prepare for it, do your preparations, and enjoy college life. It's gonna be amazing. Don't just work on your technical skills. Technical skills are do important. Work on your soft skills. Also make friends. These peers, they give you a huge advantage when you actually move ahead in your career.
Yes, sir. So another question is, doing internship at startups is worthwhile, sir?
Of course, of course.
Because some
Uh,
companies may not be have some registered in the government and all, no, sir. So, but too, they'll be offering some internship. That is worthwhile or only for the registered companies work, sir, when you have a certificate and all?
um, with respect to internship, your internship experience is more important than the certificate.
Okay.
Startups, working as an intern in startup is a completely different way of doing things. In a well-branded company or a large firm enterprise, you'll be having a much more structured environment to actually learn. In a startup, it is assumed that you already know it, or you'll be able to figure it out yourself. And you just have to work on the problem statement. So you have to do a lot of self-learning in startup. So this is often seen like when you actually do internship or work in a startup, you actually come out as like, I have learned a lot. That is because you have done a lot of self-learning. If you go to any organized firm, for example, a service-based firm as a TCS or Infosys, they have a very structured programming language, structured way of recruitment. And there also you learn, but there's less self-learning and more of a structured learning. So this differs slightly here and there. But internship generally experience is always good. And
Okay,
you get to
so
feel, okay, if you actually working on it, what are you going to be working on? So it's kind of give you a demo.
okay, so it will be a experience or to have a practice.
Yes.
So they have asked how important are soft skills and the aptitude skills, sir?
How do I say this? Everything is important. How important? it always varies and no one has answer to that. If I had answer to it, I would have optimized my soft skills accordingly. Uh, Soft skills are important, definitely. Your technical skills are important. Your soft skills will actually give you a bonus on your technical skills. Uh, as an engineer, our base is technical skills only. So if you do not have a technical skills and you're only focusing on soft skills, that might be going a little off. If you're working on only technical skills and you do not have any soft skills to actually communicate whatever knowledge you have gained in your college, that might also be not optimal solution. So both of them are important. And even if you are not very confident with communication, you'll sooner or later learn when you're working with peers, when you're working in projects. So these are the things which in internship, these things give you a vision or a demo of what is coming for you.
Okay, so here Rohit Chauhan, he has just asked, like,
Mhm.
our campus day was starting in around 5 to 6 months.
Mhm.
And in his case, he have some good projects, it seems, in full
Mhm.
stack, but he's
Mhm.
lacking in DSA. So any suggestions for preparation with this time constraint?
In lacking in, sorry,
DSA, data structures and algorithms,
data
sir.
structures and algorithms.
Yes, sir.
Um, you can go for that. Uh, you try to figure out what are your strengths. If data structures and algorithms is not your strength, and you really do want to actually improve on it, there are a lot of good courses that you can actually take. But if you're not interested in that, like you feel like you'll not be able to get it done. First of all, like if you've come into engineering, um, have that attitude like you can learn anything. And I'm pretty sure the engineering campus life is exhaustive, and you'll have that confidence in yourself that whatever comes, you'll be able to learn it. You'll be able to master it. That's a completely different story. But you can prepare a courses. 5 months is a very like it's a good amount of time. I'm not sure how many other things you're working on, but there are courses in Coursera. Uh, I think it's by Princeton University. Algorithms Part One that you can take. That will give you a lot of like it will cover all the basics for you in data structures and algorithms. All the sortings, searchings, algorithms, those everything is going to be covered. So you can take courses. But as a general advice, go for your strengths rather than weaknesses. Like if you're really good at something, for example, something other than data structures and algorithm, maybe databases, maybe networking, maybe operating system, uh, focus on your strength first of all, then work on all covering all your basics.
So if a person is a little bit back, like he doesn't know programming well, is it
Mhm.
okay for him to train or let him go in non-technical side, so which is will be best? Because in the placement side, only technical
Mhm.
things are more supposed to be there. Like they have to be
Uh,
strong in the programming, right? So what will be happening for those type of people during their placements?
okay. Uh, if you're just talking about the programming, I would not say that is the only technical skills like your concepts, your structures, like whatever the thoughts, the computer science principles, those are also come into the technical skills. So if you're good with that, maybe you can go ahead without much of the programming. But to be honest, programming is the output of all your technical concepts and all those things to actually write down
Yes.
in words.
Yes, sir.
So I do not see much of a difference here. Now the second question is like if you want to actually do not want to actually do a software engineering or those kind of roles, you want to have some different roles. That might be a little difficult in your current placements, and you might get some. So for them, I'll say a service-based industry is much more better. They'll be able to excel there. Choose your profile and roles or your company where you can excel, where you can actually contribute your skills to the company. So that way, actually start the cycle of your contribution, you get rewarded. Then you, based on your rewards, you actually work harder and contribute more. So you want to actually get into the cycle of reward and results. So
All right.
maybe for people who want to go away from technical skills, maybe a service-based company might be a better suitable for them, suits for them.
Okay, so here we have a question. How was the coding round for selection of your internship? So since Aptitude is a bit difficult for Goldman Sachs, given in the time limit.
I did not had a direct coding round during my internship time, so that's what I'm saying, right? Firms and companies were having lower expectations during internships, so they have actually gave me a pen and paper to actually write my code there. So it was not exactly like I have to pass test cases and have to have absolutely perfect syntax and all those things. So I wrote algorithms to them, and they were fine with it. So sometimes that might occur. Other places you might have a completely portal where you'll have to write the whole code for the problem statement, and you have to pass on certain test cases, and it's much more structured. No one is there to actually look at it. Only computer does the checks for you. So at those times, you might have to prepare more. So,
Okay, so there was like, how do we balance between development and data structures and algorithms preparation, considering when we are doing both simultaneously?
between data structures and
The development of something, balance between those.
not sure if I have heard the questions properly.
So how do we balance between development and data structures and algorithm preparation while we're considering we are doing both simultaneously?
You mean development as in your personality development, or what development?
So I'm not sure of the question exactly. Rohichan, could you please give your question a little more clear? Web dev.
Web development. Okay,
Yes.
okay. I get it. You don't have to master all of them. So don't have a feeling like I have to actually learn everything what is available in web frameworks or everything what is available in data structures. Get a good basics of both of them, and look for courses and curriculums, like how much is good enough. If I have to get a placement, how much is a good enough learning for me? And then work on your strengths. Like if your strength is data structures, go ahead in that. Maybe learn more algorithms which are not even there in your curriculum. If you're more interested in web development frameworks, you go for them. Learn Node.js, Angular, React. There are a lot of technologies and tools which you can learn to build there. So work on your strengths, whatever it is.
Sure, sir. Right. So is it good to know more programming languages or at least one which will be stronger?
I'll say two, and two as in one which is object oriented, and maybe it which in which you can build software as easily. And the second is a scripting language, which could be a shell script also. Like, to be honest, shell programming is also totally fine as an acceptable scripting language.
Okay. So I think questions are over. Participants, do we have any other questions? So you can unmute, or else you can put in the chat box if I can read it out. So I think no more questions. I have a question, sir. If you have, like, my resume is completely plain, so it's like blank actually. So to be honest, so what are the publications or any other thing to be added for my resume while I'm sitting for the placements or off-campus things?
I see you're still focused on credentials, to be honest.
Yes, sir.
That's fine, totally fine. There are a lot of good publications. Even I'm not sure which helps. I usually look at research papers. Just imagine this. For example, you got IEEE publications.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so that will give you a lot of credential with respect to your peers. But when a recruiter comes, they won't see your IEEE publication, but they would see your title or whatever the paper that you have written.
So it's based on some technical or non-technical like that, sir?
whatever the research that you have done in the paper, they would be
Okay.
asking around that. Now, if that research is really good, then whatever the publication is, that matters lesser.
Okay. So do you have any specific amount of publications to be there in our resume?
If you're going for a particular, like if you want to do a job, then I would say you do not require a lot of publications. I mean, even
Okay, sir.
your personal projects and research papers should be totally fine. But if you're going for higher educations, then you have to go more towards academia than to actually go towards industry.
Okay. So while I'm going for abroad studies, if possible, so do I need to have some patent works, or how to upgrade my resume to get more?
To be honest, I'm not the best person to answer your questions regarding higher educations. I have a lot of peers who have done the higher educations and who are still actually pursuing it. So they might be able to help you. I can actually introduce some of
Yes,
them
sir,
to you.
sure. Okay,
Uh,
sir, sure. So can I get your details so that we can have in touch if needed, sir? We
sure,
all
sure.
so
I'll
for
post them.
further connections. Sure, sir.
No.
So if possible, can we end this session, sir?
Sure.
Sure,
If you
sir.
have any other questions.
Umang?
Yes.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Maniraj for Maniraj. Okay.
Hello, Maniraj,
Thank you, Deepanjali, as well as thank you for Umang Soni. Why? Because I just invited Umang Soni is that I was the class advisor for final year during
Yes, sir.
Umang Soni batch.
Great, sir.
And another one thing is that he's the only person got placed in Goldman Sachs of all campuses. Only one person. I think two-person. Sushma is one person, and another one is Umang Soni. But Sushma got internship. She got a eliminated or what? I don't know exactly.
No, we got selected for internship for
Uh,
full time. I was selected, and she was selected for another firm.
she was went for another company.
Yes.
And another one point is that he got placed Goldman Sachs. He got placed in the 5th semester itself. Another, it is a super dream offer. And another one company simultaneously he got placed, that is of D. Shah.
Yes.
So he didn't went D. Shah. That is also only one person. That is among Umang Soni only. He got placed around all the campuses of SRM. And but he picked only the Goldman Sachs. Why? Because he attended the internship already. So he preferred only going to Goldman Sachs. But the package of D. Shah is higher than Goldman Sachs. Am I right? Am I right,
Yes,
Umang?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
okay. But anyhow, he went through and Goldman Sachs, and whatever the contact, he's reply immediately. Whatever alumni interaction or whatever the program you want to organize, he will reply immediately. I think 2 weeks back only he went for Sweden. So anyway, congrats to Umang Soni.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
accepting the alumni talk from the Sweden. That is an international alumni talk, we can tell. And thank you for the students, those who are participated and gathered the ideas regarding the dreamers and every opportunities. Thank you, Deepanjali. Thank you, students. Okay, thank you, Umang.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So I kindly request all the participants to fill the feedback form which is posted in the chat box. Only those who have filled the feedback form will be getting the certificates. So thank you all. We have come to the end of this session. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram, Chennai, it's an honor for me to express my gratitude to everyone present here on this day for the webinar. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks speech and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked really hard to make this program a great success. I extend really hearty vote of thanks to our resource person, Umang Soni sir, who spared his time from his busy schedule to create this event, sir. The session was so interactive and informative, sir. Thank you so much for this. I would like to thank our management, respected director and dean, sir, HOD of Computer Science Department, Dr. Raja, sir, for giving this wonderful opportunity to conduct this program. I'm glad to thank all the faculty coordinators for their support. I'm very thankful to the entire participants of this meeting. Be safe and secure. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much,
sir. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir. We have
Thank you, Umang. Thank you, Umang.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You can contact me on LinkedIn. I'm really working on social networking aspect of things. Like I'm not very good at at Facebooks and all those things.
Sure, sir.
But
Sure.
I'll try to reply your things or
Okay,
messages
sir.
or anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
So participants are requested to fill the feedback form I have posted in the chat box. Thank you all for joining this meet.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.